The Cost of Truth, a Journey of Awakening and Sacrifice. As the cracks grew larger, so did the consequences. The truth was no longer something I could hide from. It demanded to be faced. But seeking the truth comes at a cost. For me, the cost was steep. It wasn't just the loss of faith in my father, but the realization that my entire life up until that point had been shaped by deception. And the price of awakening was the loss of everything I thought I knew. Have you ever had a moment where everything you believed in was shattered? Where the very ground beneath your feet seemed to crumble, leaving you unsteady, unsure, and vulnerable? That's what it felt like as I began to peel away the layers of lies that had surrounded me. It was terrifying, but there was also a strange sense of relief. Finally, I was beginning to see clearly. With clarity, however, came isolation. The more I saw the truth, the more I felt disconnected from the life I had known. My relationship with my father became strained as I began to challenge him, quietly at first, then more boldly as my confidence in my own discernment grew. He didn't take well to being questioned. His anger, once hidden beneath a veneer of kindness, began to surface more frequently, and I started to see how much of his power was built on fear. Leaving his world of deception wasn't easy. It meant not only distancing myself from him, but also from the church that had been my entire life. The church wasn't just a building, it was a community, a family. Walking away meant losing people I'd grown up with, people who couldn't or wouldn't see the truth I was beginning to see. And then there was my mother. As she too began to awaken, it became clear that her relationship with my father was just as tangled in lies as mine was. Her silence over the years hadn't been submission, it had been survival. Watching her struggle with her own awakening while trying to protect me was one of the hardest parts of this journey. The truth was setting us free, but it was also tearing our family apart. I began to understand that the cost of truth is often loneliness. When you choose to see the world clearly, you may find that the people around you would rather live in comfortable illusions. And that's exactly what happened. The more I embraced my role as the discerner, the more I realized how deeply entrenched others were in the lies my father had built. The cost of truth, however, wasn't just relational, it was spiritual. I had to deconstruct my entire understanding of God, faith, and spirituality. Everything I had been taught about God had been filtered through my father's lens of control and manipulation. Now I had to rebuild my relationship with the divine from the ground up, learning to trust my own discernment, my own connection to God, rather than relying on the distorted version of faith my father had imposed. The truth comes at a price, but the alternative, living in deception, is far more costly. As painful as it was to lose relationships, to walk away from the church, and to dismantle my old beliefs, the cost of remaining blind would have been far greater. I was beginning to understand that the journey to truth is never easy, but it is always worth it.